As Marshal of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, I hereby declare this commencement open. Would those who are able please stand for the singing of the national anthem and then be seated for the invocation.
The perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and rockets was bursting. Please be seated. Let us begin our commencement with prayer. O God, we come to you in gratitude for these graduates seated before us, supported by their families and friends as they reach this major milestone in their lives, which we celebrate today. For those of us who teach and work here, these men and women are the fruits of our and their labors, educated individuals of character and integrity who are ready to go out into the world to seek meaningful and productive lives and contribute to their professions and communities in which they live. As our graduates depart this place today, we ask for your blessings upon them as they pursue their individual paths. May they find fulfillment as they seek to lead lives in all their abundance, with gainful employment through meaningful careers, with satisfying family lives and friendships, with involvement and leadership in their communities, and most importantly, with responsibility to you through compassion for and service to others. We thank you, O God, for your abiding presence with us. Amen. Welcome, graduates, families, and friends, to the 2018 commencement of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. Because what we do over the course of the next hour or so is a time in which our attention needs to be focused on our graduates and what is taking place here, we kindly ask that all electronic devices be silenced both in the KOA Arena and in Blaisdell Hall's Bromley Family Theater until the ceremony has ended. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you the President of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, Dr. Livingston Alexander. President Alexander.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty, staff, alumni, and advisory board, I extend salutations and congratulations. We welcome each of you to our most important ceremony of the year, the commencement of our graduating students. Today we bring to an official end another enormously successful academic year at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. I can think of no more fitting way to close the academic year than by bidding farewell to another class of very accomplished students. Before we begin with the formalities of our commencement exercise, I would like to introduce the members of the platform party. I ask each platform guest to rise as I call your name. I request that the audience hold all applause until all members of the platform party have been introduced. University of Detroit Mercy President Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, this year's commencement speaker, who will be introduced more formally in a few minutes. Ms. Jean Schoenecker, Chair of the Pitt-Bradford Advisory Board. Dr. Richard McDowell, President Emeritus of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. Dr. Nancy McCabe, President of the Faculty Senate. Mr. Peter Pentuso, member of the Pitt-Bradford Advisory Board and this year's recipient of the Alumni Award of Distinction. Ms. Karen Costello-Peck, President of the Pitt-Bradford Alumni Association. Ms. Jill Dunn, Executive Director of Institutional Advancement and Managing Director of the Bradford Educational Foundation. Ms. Pat Francer-Cohn, Executive Director of Communications and Marketing. Mr. Ray Geary, Executive Director of Continuing Education and Regional Development. Mr. Brett Butler, Director of Athletics and Recreational Sports. Mr. Richard Ash, Vice President for Business Affairs. Dr. Stephen Harden, Vice President and Dean of Academic Affairs. Dr. James Evans, Vice President and Dean of Student Affairs. And Dr. James Baldwin, Vice President for Enrollment Management. Please join me in recognizing the members of the platform podium. Thank you. Our graduates and their families celebrate their special accomplishment today because of the outstanding efforts of our faculty, staff, and advisory board. These dedicated members of the Pitt-Bradford community make it possible for our students to experience a superior educational experience in a caring and intimate setting. Would the members of the faculty, staff, and advisory board please stand so we can recognize you? Graduates, we are gathered here today to celebrate your achievements. We honor each of you who has earned an Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, or Master of Social Work degree. In doing so, we recognize the completion of an important milestone in your lives, and we wish you success on the journey that you are about to begin. Later on in today's ceremony, we will recognize each of you individually. At this time, I would like to make a special presentation to a distinguished faculty member. I invite to the podium Professor Nancy McCabe. The President's Award for Excellence in Teaching, Scholarship, and Service recognizes a faculty member who performs at the highest level in each of those areas. I am pleased to announce that Dr. Nancy McCabe, Professor of Writing and Director of the Writing Program, is this year's recipient. Professor McCabe leads our writing program, serves as advisor for our award-winning literary magazine, Bailey Speeds, and is the author of 4 memoirs and 1 novel. She also established the Common Reader Program, which has become a very successful collaboration between our campus and the community. Please join me in congratulating Professor Nancy McCabe, this year's recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching, Scholarship, and Service. Congratulations. And I now invite to the podium Ms. Kathy Moonen. The President's Award for Excellence in Overall Performance by Staff is presented to Ms. Kathy Moonen. Ms. Moonen has dedicated her entire adult life to Pitt-Bradford, joining the staff after graduating from high school. In addition to her excellent work in the Business Affairs Office, she is an avid supporter of athletics on campus, often using her legendary chocolate chip cookies to raise funds for the sports teams. Kathy has served as advisor for the wrestling club and secured a lead donation to help position wrestling to become an NCAA Division III sport this coming fall. Please join me in congratulating Kathy Moonen, this year's recipient of the Presidential Award for Excellence in Overall Performance by Staff. And I would like to present and recognize an award and recognize another very, very important member of our University of Pittsburgh at Bradford family. The Alumni Award of Distinction is an honor that the college confers periodically on Pitt-Bradford alumni who have achieved distinction by making noteworthy contributions to their profession, community, or to the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. This year, I have the great privilege of presenting the Alumni Award of Distinction to Mr. Peter Pantuso, member of the Pitt-Bradford Advisory Board. As president and CEO of the American Bus Association, Pete has distinguished himself as a leader in the tour and travel industry. In his role with the association, he is responsible for its day-to-day operations. He also serves as president of the National Bus Traffic Association and the American Bus Association Foundation. Under his strong leadership, both the association and the foundation have experienced significant growth. In fact, the foundation became a $5 million organization that provides support for research and scholarships. Although Pete attended Pitt-Bradford for only 2 years, at the time Pitt-Bradford did not offer 4-year degrees, he has steadfastly supported his alma mater. In 2007, he created the Ormita and Vincent Pantuso Scholarship, named for his parents, which has helped 21 students complete their education thus far. Pete attended the University of Pittsburgh after his 2 years here at Pitt-Bradford, and then completed a Master of Arts degree at American University in Washington, D.C. As I said, he has served many years on the Pitt-Bradford Advisory Board, and I'd just like to read a portion of the resolution that we have developed to honor Pete. Whereas you completed the requirements for a Bachelor of Arts in the fields of economics and political science at the University of Pittsburgh, later completing a Master of Arts from George Washington University. Sorry about that. I said the other one, American University, but it's, yes. Whereupon, upon completion of your academic preparation for a career in the field of government and regulatory affairs, you served as Vice President of Governmental Affairs for the Rubber Manufacturers Association, Vice President of Government Affairs for the National Confectioners Association, and Director of Government Affairs for the Glass Packaging Association. Whereas, as an alumnus, and again, your accomplishments are way too multiple for me to say here, but whereas, as an alumnus and advisory board member of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, you distinguish yourself with an outstanding record of professional achievements, engaging leadership style, and a philanthropic spirit that led you to establish the Ormita and Vincent Pantuso Scholarship, be it resolved that we are privileged to honor you by naming you the recipient of the 2018 Alumni Award of Distinction. Pete, congratulations, and the best as you continue your marvelous accomplishments.
The PBAA Honorary Alumnus Award is presented to the individual who has made a significant contribution to Pitt-Bradford. It is my great pleasure and honor to present this award to present this year's PBAA Honorary Alumnus Award to Dr. Livingston Alexander. Throughout his 15-year presidency, Dr. Alexander has shown great compassion for and commitment to our students, both while they attended Pitt-Bradford and long after they crossed the stage on Commencement Day. Dr. Alexander's unwavering dedication has produced two significant benefits. First, it has helped to strengthen the lifelong relationships between Pitt-Bradford and our alumni. Second, it has provided an excellent example that all of our graduates can follow. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Livingston Alexander, this year's recipient of the PBAA Honorary Alumnus Award.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Karen. This is quite an honor, and I just hope I can live up to the expectations of our Alumni Association. So thank you very, very much. Please bear with us. I would like to present one more very, very important presentation. I invite to the podium Ms. Janine Schoenecker, Chairperson of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford Advisory Board, who will represent all members of the Advisory Board in this special presentation. The Presidential Medal of Distinction is the university's highest honor. It is presented to an individual or group of individuals who have provided extraordinary service to the university over an extended period of time, or who have given substantial support to the university, either financially or with expertise and advice. It is my pleasure to award the 2018 Presidential Medal of Distinction to the Advisory Board of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. It is fitting to bestow the Pitt-Bradford's highest honor on this 90-member board because of their strong advocacy for our campus over an extended period of time and their deep commitment to our campus and its students. During the 15 years that I have served this campus, the advisory board members have provided essential advice and guidance to me and other senior campus leaders. The members have enthusiastically embraced the campus mission, vision, and values. They have also helped in a variety of ways to implement the 3 strategic plans that we developed during the past 15 years. Board members have been instrumental in helping us reach fundraising goals during each of the capital campaigns that this campus has launched. For the past 12 consecutive years, 100% of board members have given financially to our campus. Of course, financial support is only a part of the contribution board members make to our campus. They devote time in helping the campus address major priorities, even as they serve as leaders in business, nonprofit organizations, local and state government, and public schools. I ask each member, and I know because they're doing so many of the things that they do in their normal lives, most of them are unable to be here today, but I do ask each of the Pitt-Bradford Advisory Board members who are here to stand so that we can recognize and congratulate you for the important roles that you play. Please.
Thank you. As chair of the advisory board, I am honored to accept this award on behalf of the entire advisory board. As a board, we are very optimistic about the future of Pitt-Bradford and are committed to working on behalf of its success. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the role Dr. Alexander has played, not only in working with the advisory board, but in the transformation of our campus. He built upon the success of our past leaders, positioning our campus for growth. He is very strategic and forward-thinking. Dr. Alexander has been diligent in developing and delivering results for the long-term strategic plan. Through his strong leadership, he has assembled teams that have grown our campus facilities and majors. He has cultivated a strong leadership team and faculty whose first priority is to serve our students. He has overseen an increase in the diversity and number of students. All of these accomplishments have strengthened our foundation for our success in the future. On behalf of the advisory board and the community, I would like to thank Dr. Alexander for his leadership and his lasting imprint on our campus community. We wish you the best in the future, and we'll never forget the impact you have made to our community and in our hearts. Thank you.
Janine, thank you very much for those kind words, but this time is devoted to you and the advisory board. So I just want to thank you so much, and I know our campus thanks you, past chairpersons of the advisory board, and all of the members for their support and contributions you've made to this campus over its entire history. So thank you. I am delighted at this time to introduce my good friend, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, president of the University of Detroit Mercy, as this year's commencement speaker. Now, disclaimer, Dr. Garibaldi and I attended high school and college together, good friend, and I can think of no one who is better positioned to address our graduates on achieving success than Dr. Garibaldi, who's had a long and successful career in higher education. For the past 7 years, he has served as president of the University of Detroit Mercy, the largest Catholic university in Michigan. Under his leadership, enrollment has increased, national and regional rankings have risen, the endowment has doubled, and more than 80% of a $100 million capital campaign has been raised. Prior to his position at Detroit Mercy, Dr. Garibaldi was president of Gannon University for 9.5 years. Dr. Garibaldi is a tenured professor of educational psychology and has held several other administrative positions in higher education. He was the first provost and chief academic officer at Howard University and served as vice president for academic affairs, dean of arts and sciences, and chairman of education at Xavier University in New Orleans. He is a nationally recognized leader in higher education. From 1977 to 1982, he was an education policy fellow and research associate at the National Institute in Education, what is now the U.S. Department of Education. During that time, he was also a staff member of the National Commission on Excellence in Education, which produced a landmark report, A Nation at Risk, The Imperative for Educational Reform. Dr. Garibaldi is also a noted scholar, He holds a doctorate, as I said, in educational psychology, has written 11 books, and more than 85 research articles and chapters. He has been recognized as a fellow of both the American Psychological Association and the American Educational Research Association. He shares his vast knowledge on many educational-related boards and is active in several community organizations in Detroit, including the Detroit Institute of Arts, Invest Detroit, and the Detroit Police Chiefs Community Advisory Board. In 2015, he was named one of the 100 most connected people in Detroit by Crane's Detroit Business publication. Dr. Garibaldi has received 4 honorary degrees and numerous other awards and accolades, including the Howard University Alumni Award for Distinguished Postgraduate Achievement in the Field of Education, and the Michigan Chronicle's 2013 Men of Excellence Award. Now, when I was a senior in high school, Dr. Garibaldi was a freshman, and we have watched with pride, our class has watched with pride, as he has accomplished one major milestone after another, and he continues and says he's got a lot more to accomplish. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Antoine Garibaldi. All right.
Well, thank you, President Alexander, for that generous introduction. I was beginning to get worried that he was going to give my speech. So bear with me. But thank you very much for that. And good afternoon and congratulations, University of Pittsburgh at Bradford graduation candidates. And also a special welcome and congratulations to all of your family and friends who are here this afternoon to personally see you march down the aisle in your cap and gown and also receive your diploma in just a matter of a few minutes. I'm very happy to be here again also. This is my 3rd time coming to the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, and this time once again to reunite with my good friend Dr. Alexander and speak at his final commencement. While today's ceremony begins and continues another phase of the life of you graduates, it is also another chapter on Dr. Alexander's extraordinary career as a president and also his 15 years of accomplishments here at Pitt-Bradford. You are probably not aware that the average tenure of a college president is 6 years. And you are very, very fortunate to have had him for 2.5 times the tenure of an average president today. In today's competitive and challenging higher education world, serving as a president for 15 years any place is a tremendous accomplishment. But serving at one institution, as well as taking on another campus at Pitt-Titusville, is an even more an incredible feat. So this is a real accomplishment for him and also for Pitt-Bradford. And I will tell you that I'm not surprised, having known him for such a very long time. And I also didn't know that President Emeritus McDowell, whom I've met before, was going to be here too. You have really hit the lucky streak to have had a president for 29 years and then another president for 15 years out of a tenure of an institution that has been around for 55 years, 44 out of 55 years having 2 longtime presidents is a really big deal. And so all the graduates, you should take extra pride in that, as well as all of the alumni in here as well too, and salute both Dr. McDowell as well as Dr. Alexander. And now a few words about you graduates. Some of you looked a little bit too tense for me. I'm going to tell you that right now. You are a soon-to-be alumni of University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. You're a class of nearly 330 who are receiving Associate of Arts and Sciences degrees, Bachelor of Arts and Sciences degrees as well. and almost 40% of you are 22 years of age or younger. 85% of you, interesting enough, are 25 years old or younger. And you also have a seasoned and youthful classmate who is only about a little bit more than 40, which for people like me and Dr. Alexander and others of this room, we call that the new 40. There's a lot of us here who know that really well, and I just want you to remember as you get a little bit older that learning never stops, no matter what age you are. You have every right to feel very, very proud of your accomplishments because we all know that you have studied and worked hard to earn your degrees. And your University of Pittsburgh at Bradford faculty and staff know that the very best. The special people who are here in your lives today also know how much time you have devoted to making this day possible, especially the long hours that you have put in studying, as well as the part-time and the full-time jobs that you have held, and also managing family responsibilities for a number of you. Those are some of the reasons why there is so much joy and excitement today. They are happy for you, but they also are a little worried too, just like some of you, because you're about to take those next big steps into the profession you hope will be in your lifelong career. So your parents who are here, your grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, and other relatives, best friends, neighbors, and many others, they are your biggest supporters. So make sure to thank them either now or later on today. Thank them for their inspiration, for their support, and also for their reinforcement. And in case you have not realized already, commencements are really not for you. They're for your family. Graduates, I also know that as you sit there, you have many thoughts going through your mind, but the most important one and common one is this: I wonder how long this guy is going to speak. Because I want my degree as soon as possible. Well, Dr. Alexander and I say, don't worry about that, because we've done over 100 commencements in our career, and we know that the average attention span of most graduates is extremely short. But because my good friend has invited me for the special commencement, I prepared a few words and a brief message for you that I hope you will remember in a few days, if not over your lifetimes. And my message is mostly serious, but also has some humorous and personal reflections about your president and me over the last 54 years that we have known each other. And I've not shared these with him, so he's really worried. So I hope I can keep your attention for just a few minutes. The message that I prepared for you as you begin for some and then continue for others of your careers is only 12 words. And those 12 words are these: prepare yourself well, set realistic goals, and everything will fall in place. Prepare yourself well, set realistic goals, and everything will fall in place. And I'm going to say it one time, and if you want to join me, you may. Prepare yourself well, set realistic goals, and everything will fall in place. And you thought you were finished with classes and exams. So this is your last assignment. Those 12 words of prepare yourself well, set realistic goals, and everything will fall in place is the title of a chapter I wrote almost 10 years ago when a professor and friend of mine asked me to summarize my career in 3,000 words or less. The professor's plan was to publish a book, which he did, on leadership that included several chapters on keys to career success. He thought that a book of this type, with short chapters written by presidents and CEOs, could assist those who aspired to leadership roles in a variety of professional fields. He not only accomplished that, but his one book turned into 4 volumes. But that 3,000-word chapter was the most challenging writing assignment I ever had. And I will tell you, as Dr. Alexander knows, I love to write. The task was challenging because it forced me to condense my 30-plus year career at that time, this was 2008, into about 6 single-space pages. And if you don't believe me, I would encourage you to try writing your own autobiography of your first 20 to 25 years up until today's graduation in 1,500 to 2,000 words. It's a good exercise, and I'm sure you will have a similar challenge, just as I did, trying to identify and find some of the most important highlights of your life up until this point in time. It took a long time to write, but I was glad I agreed to do it because I give the chapter often to students who attend my weekly student hours at the university, because their most often asked question is, how did you plan to become a college president? They're very surprised when I tell them that I did not plan to be a college president, as neither did President Alexander. Instead, they're almost startled when I tell them that I studied and planned to be a Roman Catholic priest, just like Dr. Alexander. Yes, that was the route that Livingston and I originally planned to take, but it is so coincidental that our careers went in very similar directions. And as I tell you about just a few of those experiences, keep in mind that the underlying message was prepare yourself well, set realistic goals, and everything will fall in place. He and I met in September of 1964 in Newburgh, New York at Epiphany Apostolic College, the minor seminary of the Society of St. Joseph of the Sacred Heart, also known as the Josephite Fathers and Brothers. The Josephites Minor Seminary was in Newburgh, New York, which just happens to be 325 miles from Bradford. Your president was a tall, lanky, 6'3" senior in high school, and I was a 4'10" freshman. The shortest of the entire 106 guys in the seminary. He really does look the same. He still speaks the same, softly and slowly, and he is as calm as I remember him back then. Both of us had left our families in New Orleans and Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, more than 1,100 miles away when we were only turning 14. I admired and looked up to President Alexander as well as several of his classmates. They were seniors and I was a freshman. And naturally, I wanted to be just like them when I was a senior. He was also an excellent student, president of the senior class, and a very good basketball player. He had a smooth basketball shot that predated a young sophomore who was down in New York City at Power Memorial High School at the time, whose name was Lou Alcindor, who later became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Well, President Alexander had the shot first. He was also a good defensive player who could block shots from vertically challenged freshmen like me. But I always appreciated the fact, even before I grew up, I grew a little taller, that they would allow me to play with them every now and then. And thankfully, I grew that foot taller by the time I was a junior, so I could play a little bit more competitively with the big guys, as I like to say. And I later followed him in his footsteps and became president of the senior class in high school. But despite the homesickness we experienced being so far away, we learned a lot about ourselves as we grew up away from our families. We developed relationships, much like you are at Pitt-Bradford, in a boarding school type environment with classmates whose racial, ethnic, and regional backgrounds were totally different. But we were in the seminary for a common purpose. Back then, a seminarian would customarily have a 13-year process of formation in high school and college. And it would take a long time before they got to that point when they would be ordained. But the long process gave us many years to prepare ourselves and experience what life might be like if we were to become ordained and make the lifelong commitment of becoming a priest. The two of us also, coincidentally, even though we're 4 years apart, were in the seminary for 8.5 years of our life, making the decision to leave in the middle of our senior year of college at 2 different points in time. And even though some of those guys only survived the well-disciplined daily life literally for 1 day, 2 days, and 3 days, I often look back and wonder how I was able to stay for as long as I did. But it had to be because I was committed to the goal, just as I know Dr. Alexander was. And after we left, we knew we were well prepared for the opportunities and experiences that we would have in our professional and our personal lives. Many of our seminary schoolmates are still close today. Some of them were ordained, and many others went into other professions. But we are still close, and our bond remains the same because of the time we spent together and because of the education we received. We took many classes. He was a Latin scholar. He was also, as well as many of the other classmates, individuals who spent lots of times in the community and also in local churches. But most importantly, we developed and sharpened our ethical, our moral, and our disciplinary skills and values. I recall those personal reflections and recollections of our time together so you could see the value of an educational, interpersonal, and also social preparation, just like you have received here at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford over the last 4 or more years. But we made those personal and difficult decisions too in our lives in 1968 and 1970 after considerable time and reflection, namely the time that we both decided that we would leave the profession that we thought we wanted to have and went in a different direction. And this occurred at the turbulent 60s and 1970s when we discovered the anti-Vietnam War protests, the civil rights struggle, and also the hippie and the Black Power movements that many of you who are younger today don't quite remember, but your parents do and your grandparents do as well. It was a major decision on our lives to make that decision because of all the political and social impact on the direction of our country, in many ways, just like today. But we had to do what we felt was the best decision for us at the time, and to choose another path and to lead in another way. I say that because you too will find yourself in those same situations, and I encourage you to trust your head and your heart and make decisions that will be the best for you, even if it means changing to another career in which you are interested. I'm sure that my friend Livingston would agree with me that the support of our parents also, many of your parents who are in this room, would understand this, that when we decided to leave the seminary, having their support was extremely helpful. Rely on them because you will need them. It's also coincidental that after we left the seminary, we obtained advanced degrees in psychology, became professors, department chairmen, leading up to provosts and vice presidents, and eventually becoming presidents. Those decisions were really not so much accidental, but they were also very coincidental because we realized that we would need our further academic degrees to advance ourselves. We again prepared ourselves well, set realistic goals, and also everything that we wanted to achieve, we were able to achieve that. You too will need to have that same kind of perseverance as you leave Pitt-Bradford, because you will need your additional advanced degrees in order to become successful. I'm very confident that each and every one of you will be extremely successful in your personal lives and your careers as long as you do that, well beyond today's graduation, and continue to set those realistic goals. But also understand that there will be lots of obstacles that will come before you, and also disappointments. I know I can talk about disappointments that occurred to me in my professional life, as will Dr. Alexander. There were college and university positions that we applied for that we did not get, even though we felt we were really very, very qualified for. And neither of us became presidents on the first try, nor the second try. But we also knew that we would eventually reach our goal. It was discouraging not being selected in those early presidential searches, but I remained optimistic that I would achieve my goal. You will experience those same kinds of disappointments, but you must not be disheartened when you pursue a position of increasing responsibility and authority. Understand that there are many who will believe in you. Use those discouraging experiences, however, to strengthen yourself and also to fortify your desire to achieve all of your goals. Just remember that everything will fall in place. You'll also learn that others will be watching you and also your accomplishments. They'll be watching and observing you so much so that they will recommend you for positions that you didn't even apply for. But they will recommend you because they believe in your talents and also your skills. It's always quite humbling and uplifting when you are just doing your work and others see your leadership potential. Be confident, be patient, and remember that the more experience you obtain, the more success and preparation you will have for your ultimate goal. Remember also to identify a mentor or two from the Pitt-Bradford faculty and staff if you have not already done so. I have had two special mentors throughout my career, my graduate school advisor and also another professional colleague. Those are the individuals who will write letters of recommendation for you and also be your biggest supporters and your references when you are pursuing those positions of increasing responsibility. We all need candid mentors who can tell us frankly when we are making a good decision and also when we are not making a good decision. President Alexander and I have used each other also as sounding boards during our careers and also for many professional decisions that we have had to make. And in the same way, I ask you and I encourage you to use your best friends in high schools and particularly your college classmates. They can be excellent advisors for those times, especially when you need encouragement. So over the next few days, when you begin to think seriously about your future, take some time during the day and the evening and write down 3 or more 5- and 10-year goals for yourself. Those goals will be the blueprint to your career and your personal success. Remember to continue to prepare yourself well, set realistic goals, and everything will fall in place. Congratulations and much success to all of you.
Dr. Garibaldi, thank you. Precisely the messages I'd hoped that you would deliver to our graduates at this stage in their lives. And I just never imagined you would use our lives as a framework for delivering those messages. So thank you very much. Now we do have a gift for you. It's too big and cumbersome to bring on stage. We will make sure that it gets to you and Carol. Carol, thank you very much for traveling with Antoine as well. So again, thank you very much. A hand for Dr. Garibaldi again. At this time, I would like to invite Vice President and Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Stephen Harden, to come to the podium to present the students who have completed the requirements for their respective University of Pittsburgh degree. Dr. Harden.
On behalf of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford faculty, I extend to you, the class of 2018, our congratulations on the completion of your University of Pittsburgh degrees. Your success is our success, and we're very, very proud of you. Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you those students who have completed the requirements for the Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degree. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise?
Today, you have completed the requirements for an important academic degree. During these past 2 years, you have undertaken a rigorous program of study. The degree that you have earned will open the door to a life of service as a professional or to continued study in a related discipline. Whether your degree is in engineering science, information systems, liberal studies, nursing, or petroleum technology, always remember to practice your profession with skill, competence, integrity, and respect for those individuals you will be privileged to serve. And now, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Pittsburgh, I confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts or Associate of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
The complete list of graduating students is printed in your program. For today's ceremony, however, we will be reading only the names of those graduates present. As your name is read, please come onto the stage and be recognized to receive your degree. Muhammad A. Katani. Matthew Calkins. Sadiqa Green. Joshua McFadden. Stephen Joseph McNitch. Brooke O. Osborne, cum laude. Allison M. Prokop. Chelsea M. Russell. Veronica J. Westerberg. Tyler Weatherby. Krista L. Woodford. Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you those students who have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise?
Each of you has specialized in a particular academic discipline, and you have done so while becoming broadly educated within the liberal arts tradition. Do keep in mind that the mark of an educated person is to recognize that many of the problems faced by humankind today will not be solved solely with specialized knowledge. The general education competencies that you have mastered will complement your specialized knowledge, enabling you to communicate effectively with others, analyze issues in all their complexities, and find solutions for the benefit of all. And now, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Science in Nursing with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
As your name is read, please come onto the stage to be recognized and receive your degree. Ethan Jack Acaster. Stephen A. Almanzar. Alexander M. Anzavine. Timothy Atkinson. Caitlin D. Bachman. Nadira Desiree Barber. Jessica Catherine Bean, cum laude. Evan L. Bender. Selena Mercedes Benitez Cuffey. Susan Benton, magna cum laude. Beth Bernardi. Matthew Beal, cum laude. Scott D. Bimber. Jennifer Lynn Blotzer, summa cum laude. Alexa R. Bowler. Mia Bondi. Benjamin H. Boone, summa cum laude. Joseph S. Bosich. Michaela A. Brinker. Jenny L. Brockle. Donovan P. Brown. Timothy B. Brown II. Christina M. Brunez, cum laude. Brian Daniel Burke. Jamie Burritt, magna cum laude. Brooke E. Butler, cum laude. Indira Kamzik. Kevin P. Cartney. Kelsey Cataldo. Abigail Selesky. Jake D. Chamberlain. Monica Cassandra Charnley. James Klinger, cum laude. Mark D. Close. Kate M. Colella, summa cum laude. Taylor R. Collins. Ashley Nicole Colosimo, magna cum laude. Ann M. Confer. Colin D. Costello. Elizabeth M. Coyle, cum laude. Sabrina Lynn Crawford. Sandra K. Crawford. Cordell R. Cutrery. Brady A. Daly. Brooke C. Daniels, cum laude. Ryan Davis, magna cum laude. Leah DeLyon, magna cum laude. Danielle L. Dean, cum laude. Jenna T. Dean. Sean Jacob DeFazio. Gregory B. Dincher. Aaron M. Dixon, summa cum laude. Abigail V. Dobson, cum laude. Caitlin S. Donnelly. Caitlin E. Donovan, cum laude. Austin T. Dunn, cum laude. Lance A. Easton. David Eaton, magna cum laude. Douglas R. Elliott, summa cum laude. William G. Engel III. Aaron Fagan, summa cum laude. Christina L. Falpel, cum laude. Joshua M. Fields, cum laude. Jordan M. Finati. Dante Aaron Flood. Joseph W. Frederick. Ann M. Frick, summa cum laude. Krista Ann Freed, summa cum laude. Gail Galloway. Tiffany Marie Gardner, summa cum laude. Gabriel A. Gomez, cum laude. Keegan M. Goodliff. Lee Marie Gorgas, cum laude. DeAndrea J. Green. Alexander Hafner, cum laude. Atiana R. Hall. Erica L. Hilo. Nicole S. Henderson. Vanessa M. Hickman, cum laude. Joseph R. Hinman. Alexa T. Holleran. Courtney M. Holtzworth, summa cum laude. Akira R. Hoots. Amber M. Horn. Delaney Ann Houtz. Katie Rose Hugler, summa cum laude. Aaliyah Hyman. Tiffany Jandrew, magna cum laude. Tristan M. Joffe. Edwin D. Johnson. Daniel W. Jones. Abby Lynn Kalin. Chelsea A. Keller. Edward W. Kernan, cum laude. Kayla N. Kerner. Laura Marie Klitsch. Cole J. Kloss. Corey M. Koss. Shane Kranick. Victoria Rose Kunzelman. Rebecca A. Lathrop, cum laude. Nathan David George Lawyer. Sarah E. Lochner, summa cum laude. Dagnica Main, summa cum laude. Lacey A. Malone. Connor J. Marcinetti. Wyatt May. Taylor Lee Main. Darius McBride. Zachary Sean McClure, cum laude. Mitchell M. McEwen. Stephanie C. McFall. Stephen McFetrich II, cum laude. Jasmine S. McGee. Cody L. McMillan, cum laude. Andrew J. McRandall, summa cum laude. Madeline Ann Merkel, summa cum laude. Sage Messenger, magna cum laude. Alexandra Nicole Miller. Kevin D. Miller. Brittany L. Minu. Malaysia M. Moore. Caitlin Moran. Ashlyn T. Morrisroe. Benjamin F. Motter. Caroline J. Mundy. Natalie M. Munn, summa cum laude. William T. Murphy, summa cum laude. Vidal K. Mwangi. Amber J. Naylor, magna cum laude. Michaela R. Newell. Anthony J. Nichols. Chandler Nickel. Draven E. Nudd. Christian Rees Perkins. Kisan D. Peters Diaz. Tina Pham. Miranda E. Pacholi, magna cum laude. Emily Pierce. Nicole M. Plummer. Allison M. Pralinsky, magna cum laude. Michaela Ramadan, cum laude. Dalton C. Rand. Allison D. Ravetti, magna cum laude. Brandon Dwayne Rice, cum laude. Shelby Ann Rice, cum laude. Melissa Elizabeth Rochelle. Joshua Kane Rosenblatt, cum laude. Jolisha Grace Ross Gaylor. Jason R. Rulander. Colby M. Sabat. Devontae Sadler. Mark Saporito. John Michael Schaefer IV. Matthew W. Schmidt, cum laude. Magena W. Sengi. Adam Matthew Shank. Cody S. Schock. Lindsay Simonowski. Sarah L. Slater, magna cum laude. Nicole Sluga. Michael L. Slupski. Caitlin Smead, cum laude. Aubrey A. Smith. Michael E. Smith. Elizabeth S. Sobek, cum laude. Sean Anthony Stack. Nicholas A. Steiner. Austin C. Stevens, summa cum laude. Cody W. Stevenson, magna cum laude. Benjamin Thompson, cum laude. Garrett A. Timko. Michaelin T. Tinnerman. Selena Rhea Ophelio Tomby. Matthew W. Torrey. Alex M. Tiger, magna cum laude. Nadima Janelo Ugochukwu. Karina M. Valdez. Aaron J. Van Sickles. Cassandra R. Wakefield. Joshua E. Walker. Haley N. Ward. Brittany V. Watts. Joshua P. Weintraub, cum laude. Amber M. West. Shelby L. Whitman, cum laude. Caitlin E. Williams, summa cum laude. Brody J. Wood, summa cum laude. Isaiah P. Woodruff. Tricia A. Wright. Chelsea Weimer, summa cum laude. Brittany M. Zernick, cum laude. Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you those students who have completed the requirements for the Master of Social Work degree. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise?
Today, you have completed the requirements for the Master of Social Work degree through the University of Pittsburgh School of Social Work's residency program at Pitt-Bradford. The education you have received will enable you to make an immediate impact in the lives of individuals and families. And now, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Social Work of the University of Pittsburgh, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Social Work with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please come onto the stage to be recognized and receive your degree. Allison Renee Armstrong Graham. Christy Ann Goldthwaite. Please join me in a round of applause for all of our graduates.
For a number of years, Pitt-Bradford has received recognition as a military-friendly institution. In this past year alone, we had a total of 58 veterans and 23 military dependents enrolled at the college, and today a number of them are graduating. We wish to thank these veterans for their service to our nation, and I ask that they please stand so that we can recognize you. We thank you very much for your service. As we bring the ceremony to a close, I once again wish to acknowledge and congratulate our graduates and wish each of you the very best as you embark on the next leg of life's journey. The very brief message I would like to share with you as you embark is captured in a speech the late Robert F. Kennedy made to the young people of South Africa in 1966. He could easily have been talking to each of you, and I quote, "It is a revolutionary world we live in, and this generation at home and around the world has had thrust upon it a greater burden of responsibility than any generation that has ever lived. Some believe there is nothing one man or one woman can do against the enormous array of the world's ills. Yet many of the world's great movements of thought and action have flowed from the work of a single man or woman. A young monk began the Protestant Reformation. A young general extended an empire from Macedonia to the borders of the earth. A young woman reclaimed the territory of France, and the 32-year-old Thomas Jefferson proclaimed that all men are created equal. These men and women move the world, and so can we all. Few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events, and in the total of all these acts will be written the history of this generation. It is from the numberless acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time a person stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, these ripples build a current that can lift a generation to new heights and inspire its members to utter the words, "Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream things that never were and ask, why not?" As Pitt-Bradford graduates, you join the ranks of a distinguished group of alumni, and we welcome you to membership in the Pitt-Bradford Alumni Association. Please remember to stay connected to your alma mater. As important as it is to pay tribute to our graduate, it is equally important to recognize families of our graduates who have sacrificed so much in supporting you throughout your college years. So at this time, I would like to ask the spouses, the parents, the children, the grandchildren, the brothers, the sisters, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, friends of our graduates, if you would all please stand up. Graduates, please stand up and recognize. Thank you. I now ask those of you who are able to stand up as we prepare for the singing of the Alma Mater. The singing of the alma mater will be followed by the benediction and the recessional. During the recessional, please remain in your seats until the entire procession of faculty, staff, and advisory board has left the arena. After the commencement ceremony, I invite you to attend an informal reception in the McDowell Fieldhouse located on the other side of the building. Now, Mr. Sprout will now play through the alma mater one time to familiarize you with the melody. On the second playing, we ask you to join in the singing. The words are printed on the inside cover of the program.
Please be seated. Please be seated for the benediction. Let us pray. Bless, O God, these graduates and all who are gathered here today. Keep us aware of your constant presence with us and inspire these men and women to go into the world in peace, to lead meaningful lives, to treat others with dignity, respect, and compassion, and to serve their fellow men and women in ways that make our world a better place for all. Amen.
I hereby declare this commencement closed.